The UK government has made one thing very clear: the future is green. By 2035, they plan to ban the sale of all new petrol and diesel cars entirely, part of a bold strategy to become carbon neutral by 2050. They're pouring billions into renewable energy, clean transport, and eco-conscious infrastructure. It's all about protecting our planet, right? But in the race towards a greener future, something is quietly being left behind.
E-bikes. E-bikes are one of the cleanest, most efficient, affordable modes of transport. And whilst electric cars are making the headlines for their funding and tax breaks, e-bikes are being criminalised. So in this video, I'm going to go through why I think e-bikes are not the future. E-bikes have grown tenfold in the last couple of years because they are an affordable, reliable, eco-friendly way to commute. You can buy e-bikes on the high street, you can buy e-bikes online, pop in your payment details and one will be delivered to your door within a matter of days. But like you would have seen in a couple of my other videos, the government has set out some really strict guidelines for e-bikes. In terms of regards to the throttle, in regards to the power output, i.e. the 250 watt motor, and capping the top speed that motor can assist you up to 15.5 mile an hour. So of all the thousands of e-bikes on the market that are available to us, there is only a very small percentage that we can actually legally ride on the road. And I made a video a couple of months ago about how that law was just about to change, but they've decided to put it all on hold and keep it exactly as it is. And that kind of begs the question is, how serious are the government in going eco-friendly and carbon neutral when bikes is a huge part of that, but they're not willing to look and update any of the e-bike laws? And a load of comments that I get on this channel is always like, well, if you want to ride around on an e-bike, you should get it registered and get it insured. And this only even strengthens my argument because, again, as you can see, I'm riding the road legal Sur-Ron. This was an off-road Surron which I converted to an L1E, and that process was so painful and took so long. 3.5 months in total of sending that first bit of paperwork off to actually being able to ride this thing on the road. And I've explained in a couple of other videos on how the authorities such as HMRC and the DVLA had absolutely no idea how to process these bikes, which makes me think, is it their fault or is it the government that actually aren't promoting this and helping these companies? It just doesn't make any sense. And then you've got the police. The police in pretty much every county in the UK are promoting on how they've carried out this miraculous task force to go out and clamp down on illegal e-bikes that aren't registered, that are being used for road use, which is amazing. Well done, police, that's fantastic. We're not getting through here, are we? Have a little ice cream. Yeah, well done, police. That's absolutely brilliant. You've taken some really, really bad criminals off the road for using those e-bikes. Don't get me wrong, there are people out there that are absolutely abusing them for phone theft and stuff like that. I 100% agree. But when you've got other people that are using, you know, some of the smaller e-bikes, I'm not talking about Surrons now, I'm just talking about some of the smaller e-bikes, you know, your Engways and things like that. People are using these for commuting or, you know, a delivery service. That's their job, that's their income. They're using these bikes to aid them, and you cannot blame them for that. But I do see it like the police are just going out and picking out the low-hanging fruit rather than tackling the bigger issue. But my other biggest concern with it is the fact that that's great they're going out and doing that, but what are they doing to actually help people then register the bikes? You know, where's the help? Where's the information? Where's the infrastructure? And it kind of begs the question, is actually, are the government happy just doing this? They're just going to make a load of money off the sales of all these e-bikes that are being sold in the UK, and then they're just making a load of money by handing out tons and tons of fines for people using them. Is that their strategy? I don't know. But if you can compare that to something like, if you're caught using a mobile phone, they don't now punish you for that. They'll put you on a driver's awareness course to educate you on how to drive safely without using the phone. So where is that for the e-bikes then? It just seems that they're very reactive and just coming along, taking the bike, slapping you with a massive fine, and then crushing that bike. So then, I don't know, do you go out and buy another one? Are they making even more money that way? And then you take the high-powered e-bikes like the Sur-Ron, Solaria. And again, I totally agree. Yes, there are people out there completely abusing their powers and using these bikes and going around and thieving phones and stuff like that. But you've got to be mad to think that it's only criminals using Sur-Rons for crime. Criminals use absolutely every mode of transport for crime. Cars, boats, planes, you name it. There's going to be a mode of transport that criminals use. It just so happens that at the moment, it's all about e-bikes, and we have to be tarnished under the same brush that they're dangerous. You know, oh, e-bikes are dangerous. I hate that comment when I see that online. E-bikes are not dangerous. There's nothing dangerous about an e-bike. The danger comes to the person that's actually riding it. You are riding it dangerously. You are the danger, not the bike. You are controlling that thing. So it has nothing to do with the bike. It just makes no sense to me. Why would the government promote electric transportation and then go and criminalise the most affordable option there is? It makes absolutely no sense to me. There's such a great option. So why penalise the people that want to try and embrace it? I get a lot of comments on videos as well when I do some of the other e-bike content that, you know, disabled people that can't physically ride bikes. Now, don't get me wrong, I know I'm going to get loads of people in the comments going, oh, just get a push bike or just get a motorbike. It's not the point. Don't make something available to us and then criminalise it. That's my point I'm making. Yeah, if I wanted a motorbike, I'd go out and buy a motorbike. If I wanted a push bike to get exercise, I would go out and buy a push bike. The fact that I absolutely love these high-powered e-motos is my point. It's available to me. Why shouldn't I be able to enjoy it? And the last thing that and this is kind of what inspired me to make this video, was when I turned this to a road legal L1E version of the Sur-Ron. One of the biggest comments, or one of the biggest messages, amount of messages that I was getting was, who are you insuring that through? Now, I can only actually find one company. What is with this traffic, man? Now, I could actually only find one company that would insure me. And the insurance for this is just under £500, which at the time I thought was a lot of money. Since then, I've had a lot of people that have managed to get insurance saying that actually that's a really good price. That's actually quite cheap. Nice car, shame you can't drive it. Whee. Oh my days. What are you doing? Come on, you get a bus through there. So yeah, I've since had a lot of people saying, actually that's a really good price to insure a Surron. I then had a lot of people, because obviously I said that, you know, it was a company called Bikesure that were the actual people that had insured me. Within a day of me insuring this bike, I then had other people, where are you going there, mate? You can't go anywhere, can you? Yeah, within a day of insuring it, I then had people saying, are you sure it's insured through Bikesure? Because they've just phoned them up to get a quote or get insurance. And Bikesure are now saying that they don't insure Surrons. So, as far as I'm aware, I don't know any companies now that will insure these bikes. And it just makes me even more suspicious. Why? Why is no one insuring them now? Is it because they're predominantly being used for crime and people don't want to associate them with that? Or is there something a little bit deeper? Are the governments trying to flush them out? Are the government putting pressure on these insurance companies to be able to insure these bikes? Therefore, they're just trying to flush them out. I don't get it. I can't see how come one day I can get insurance and the next day no one can get insurance from that same company. I found a lot of other insurance companies online in sponsored ads saying that they would insure Surrons, and when I actually spoke to them on the phone, they're saying they don't insure them. Now, why is that? It doesn't make any sense that no one is insuring them now. So my kind of final conclusion on this is, it just baffles me, the fact that government was so hot on, you know, we've got to be net zero, we've got to be more, you know, environmentally friendly, and let's jump on the electric vehicles. And electric vehicles aren't environmentally friendly. If you see what goes into making a battery, there's nothing environmentally friendly about it. But everyone follows this narrative, and okay, if that's the way it's got to go, that's the way it's got to go. If we're not going to be able to buy combustion engines in the future, and we have to buy electric, fair enough, but embrace it, help people, Don't just leave, like, you know, bikes are the cheapest mode of transport. I can pick up a Sur-Ron for £2,000. I can't get an electric car for probably, I don't know, less than £20,000-30,000. So it's a fantastic option. So why are the government not helping us? Why are the government not embracing it? Why are they not helping the e-bikes out more? Why are they criminalising it? You know, you wonder why all these people are riding around illegally on e-bikes. And I can tell you exactly why. It's because they're just making it so hard for us to do it the legal way. They need to invest into some help, into some infrastructure. Otherwise you are never going to tackle this problem. You are just going to continue to get people riding these around illegally. There we go, delivery driver on an e-bike. I guarantee that's not 250 watt. But geezer's out here just trying to make a living, isn't he? So, you know, I don't blame him. Anyway guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. Go ahead and drop them down in the comment section below. Things definitely do need to change. I don't know how we do that. I will continue to make videos on this subject to try and raise awareness. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So if you found this video interesting, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I massively appreciate it. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. It's completely free. As always, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.